Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I recently did a journaling video featuring this yellow Tombow color, and I gave a bunch of doodle ideas, and a lot of you expressed interest in this turning into a series. So in this video, I will be focusing my attention on the Tombow color 076, which is, I think, called green ochre. I basically used this color as the focus for a lot of my doodles this week, and I have 4 different theme ideas to share with you. And yeah, hopefully you can get some inspiration and it'll encourage you to doodle a bit more. Okay, so for Monday, I decided to make it a watermelon theme. I picked 2 shades of green and a shade of pink, and I will show you guys the doodles in a little bit. If you have been watching my videos for a while, you definitely already know my layout, but basically I just have a left column. I make 3 sections, one for my routine, one for work, and one for life. The 3 items on my routine are walk in the morning, medication, and prepping coffee and dishes for the next day. And anytime I have something notable on my to-do list, I typically use a sticker. In this case, I used 2 stickers. I layered this heart emoji eyes sticker on top of this rainbow sticker from Fox and Cactus because I wanted to work on this year's Pride fundraiser washi tape. Speaking of which, I will be sending an email newsletter about this, but just to let my YouTube audience know as well, from June 15th, so this coming Saturday, until June 21st, which is next Friday, I will be hosting our annual pre-order event. There will be a ton of washi tapes, all of our clear stamps, as well as maybe a pouch or 2. So if you're interested, definitely check back on June 15th. But again, I will send an email newsletter in case you don't enjoy Instagram or Facebook and other social medias. Okay, sorry, that announcement is out of the way. As you can see, I doodled a bunch of watermelons. I did 3 different styles, just I guess as a demo. For the whole watermelon, I just doodled an oval and used the darker green to draw a bunch of squiggles. And then I just used the blush pink for the flesh of the watermelon. And then after everything dried, I just used my fountain pen to draw very little lines for the seeds of the watermelon. And I think these doodles turned out really, really cute. I made my usual morning entry and then my gym workout, just like the exercises and the highest weight that I did. And then I had a lot of prep work to do for the June pre-order, so I made another to-do list for the evening. I know it sounds a little bit weird, like I have this entire to-do list. Why do I need to make a separate to-do list? I think that when there are a lot of things for me to do in a single day, I tend to get a bit overwhelmed, just not knowing where to start and what to prioritize. So it sometimes helps to just extract a few things out of my overall to-do list and put it separately. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, that is why I rewrote some things. Okay, so for Tuesday, I decided to make this a tree/forest theme. I am going to show some very simple ways of doodling trees, just using basic shapes, and I brought in a darker green for this, as well as a brown, just for the stem. I don't think stem is the right word. Tree trunk, yes. Okay, sorry. I brought in a brown for the trunk. But before we get into the doodles, I have to write down my to-do list once again. I put down this money tiny icon to mark paying some credit card bills, and this email icon to mark sending some invoices. And then I also put down this poker-faced emoji head because I had a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock and I was honestly very nervous about it. I will talk a little bit about that in a bit. Moving on to the forest doodles, I started off with the lighter greens because you can always layer darker greens on top, but you can't really layer lighter greens on top of a darker green. So again, starting with the lighter green, I just doodled a bunch of shapes, this like flowery shape, some rounded triangles and blobs, and then I used the darker green to draw some more tree shapes, and a few of them overlapped with each other. And then finally I used the brown to draw in the trunks. After everything dried, I used some darker greens as well as my fountain pen to doodle some squiggles and dots to kind of suggest the leaves. And that's basically it. I think this is a really fun and simple doodle. After that, I just wrote down a really quick morning entry as well as documenting my gym workout. The next part is a little weird. I just used a sticky note and cut it down to size because I wanted to create a secret flap on the page. As I said, on Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment and it was a pretty important one because it was going to determine what kind of medication I would be taking in the future. And I guess just being a little bit vulnerable right now, I have always been a little bit reluctant to go on medication. Not that I have anything against it. I guess I worried that it would affect my creativity. And of course, with what I do, my career and my hobbies, like all of that involves creativity. And again, it was just a little worry of mine, but I just like reached a point where I was like, okay, I think it's time to try some medications. And also my sister and my brother-in-law, they're both pharmacists, so they were able to like give me full information and like all of the side effects. And yeah, they have just been amazing at walking me through this process. So anyways, on Tuesday, I didn't want to really broadcast the nitty-gritty thoughts that I had about the whole experience, so I just wrote that underneath the flap, and then I secured the flap down with a few stickers. And then after I had some time to process, I wrote down another reflection, and then at the very end of the day, I just had the idea that I wanted to bake some cornbread because I was craving cornbread. Very, very random. Okay, we're moving on to Wednesday and Thursday. For Wednesday, I decided to do some dinosaur doodles, and to be honest, I really did not like how they turned out, and I will make a note of that later, but at least I tried something new and did something outside of my comfort zone. As usual though, I'm starting off by writing down my routine as well as my work and life to-dos. Wednesday was actually a pretty fun day for me. I was just like mentally and physically very exhausted dealing with all of my health stuff while also like preparing for the pre-order and other projects, and I had been craving some specific sushi rolls, so I finally decided to treat myself and order some sushi. And I also booked a nail appointment on Wednesday, so yeah, it just ended up being a really nice self-care afternoon and I really enjoyed that. But I did have a lot of work to do, so I put down this "Get Your Ducks in a Row" doodle sticker, which is one of my favorite stickers. Okay, so this is when I started to doodle the dinosaurs, and I don't know, I freehanded them so they just look really wonky. I think they're still kind of cute though, but they don't necessarily look like dinosaurs. But I guess this just goes to show not every drawing can always look great. I did kind of save the spread, I think, by doodling a bunch of leaves and plants all around. You'll see that a lot more later. I kind of surrounded the entire border with it. And I think all of the leaves and plant details just distracted the eyes away from the very wonky looking dinosaurs. I don't have much else to say while I'm doodling, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about some of the work that I'm doing behind the scenes that you might not necessarily see. Recently, I have been working a lot on reformatting our older kits, and not just like reformatting, but I am actually redoing the artwork from start to finish for some of my like very old kits, kind of to match with my newer style. And I'm actually really excited about it. I guess because some of the artwork and kits are from when I was like very young, and I think my art has improved since then. So nowadays I really don't like using my older stickers because I am just reminded of this art that I don't like. So anyways, I'm not like redoing everything, but just like certain kits and stuff I am redoing the artwork for, and it is taking quite a bit of time, but I definitely think it'll be worth it. Also, during this week we were wrapping up the Q2 subscription shipping, and of course I was working on the pre-order prep. And also a lot of new designs for August because I have my birthday event coming up then, and also my trip to New York, which is going to be super exciting, but I'm also very nervous about because I have no idea how I'm going to get all of my inventory and set up from the west coast of Canada to the east coast of the United States. I definitely have a lot of planning to do there. Anyways, back to the spread. I documented my gym workout, and I was so excited when the sushi was, I guess, out for delivery. So I started like writing about how excited I was, and I ordered the dragon roll and also the salmon avocado roll, which are typically my go-tos. And I just like doodled it as kind of like a cute receipt. And then oh yeah, and then you can see my nails changed color because I went to my appointment. And in the evening, I put down this positive thoughts emoji. Overall, I was having a good day, so I just ended off the night on a positive note. And then moving on to Thursday, the theme was kiwis. I have been obsessed with kiwis this spring and summer, and I actually started doing this recently where I eat the kiwi with the skin on, just like directly, kind of like an apple. I used to just like use a spoon and scoop it out, which I think is like the more common way, but I think I read somewhere that the skin has the most fiber, so I just like one day decided to try it, and it actually wasn't that bad. I know like the hairy texture is kind of off-putting, but I just started eating it with the skin from then on. The main thing for Thursday was that I wanted to go to the bank at some point. Definitely not a good thing, but I often procrastinate going to the bank, so I really had to go on Thursday. And something else that was exciting on Thursday was my nephew said his first words, which was super exciting. My sister sent over the video and I watched it like 20 times throughout the day. Also on Thursday, it was very exciting because I decided to bake two things. One was a batch of double chocolate granola. I have made granola like 20 times, so this was very simple, but I also decided to try a new recipe for cornbread, which again I was craving, so that was really fun. And I actually filmed the process just a little bit, so I will insert the clips here. So while the granola and cornbread was in the oven, I went back to my spread and I decided to write down the recipe. I just like ripped up this piece of paper, and again I wanted to create kind of like a flap because I couldn't fit everything onto the page. So I, on one side, wrote down the recipe for the double chocolate granola. And then underneath, I wrote down the recipe for the cornbread and any like general notes that I had. Oh, also, I didn't talk about the kiwi doodles at all. I basically just used the green to draw like a donut shape because the center of the kiwi is typically white or like lighter in color. And then I outlined it with a brown for the hairy skin, and then after letting it dry, I used my fountain pen to draw in the little seeds at the end. Also, to just add a little bit of interest, I used the various green and brown shades to draw in these like spots all around the page, and I think that framed the spread really well. My weekly baking tradition is one of the best things that I started for myself, I think. I think it's because I really just like tune out all of the noise in my head, and because I follow a recipe, I am like given the instructions and I don't have to decide what to do. And of course, usually there is something very delicious as a reward. And I also love just like packaging everything up for people that I love and send them off. It's only Saturday today, but I think I've already decided my bake for next week, which is going to be Chinese almond cookies. I think that'll be interesting. Anyways, I don't think I have much else to say for this video, so I hope you found some inspiration, and I hope you doodle something in your planner today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!